Go straight to this audio. This happened during the week, and this is what happened when that particular comment was made. When John Dumelo appeared before the Appointment Committee of Parliament, this is Honorable Habib Idrisu.
If you go to the ministry, try to assist your minister. The ministry is a very it's big, it's huge, and you should not try to jump the gun. And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I congratulate the nominee.
Joy 99.7 FM, please, let's take a listen again.
If you go to the ministry, try to assist your minister. The ministry is a very, it's big, it's huge, and you should not try to jump the gun. And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I congratulate the nominee.
Joy 99.7 FM, so we just heard Honorable Habib Idrisu. Now, I don't want to pass any comment on this yet. Let me go around and take commentary from my panel members. Let me start with Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, I know so well you've had this long time when it happened because you are very, 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 very updated when it comes to issues in showbiz everywhere. Uncle Ken is the only uncle of mine of that level who will go on TikTok, on IG.
Hey, I'm not there. Don't take me. Only
Facebook.
Yes.
Only
and,
Facebook.
Instagram.
And Instagram. You are on Instagram. I didn't know about that.
I'm on Instagram.
Whoa.
Yes. Sadiq.
Gen Z grandpa.
Sadiq
Young at heart.
Me onto Instagram. Instagram,
But
Facebook.
please
I was
try.
on Twitter for a while.
Okay.
But I had to get off those streets.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't stand the acrimony.
Try to go. Try to go to TikTok for a few months. Go and see. Go and see. Seeing is believing.
I won't. You know, people send me. They forward certain videos and things to me, and if it's on TikTok, because I am not there, I can't open.
Unless
it's
downloaded.
Unless it's downloaded, and I'm happy for that. I don't want to go there.
Okay, so
anyway,
what I would do is that when I see the video, I'll send to you to watch.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so back to the question on Honorable Habib's statement.
This, and when you just played it back. The portion you just played back. You see, unfortunately, this was a statement made as a joke at a bad place to make it sound like a joke. Because you see, at the tail end of what you just played, this bit that you just played, you could hear that after he had made this statement and congratulated the nominee, he laughed. And if you had not followed his interrogation of the nominee from the beginning, you would not know that he and the nominee are very close. He made that very clear from the beginning of his submission. He said they were mates, you know, and did things together, blah, 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 blah. That's why I'm saying that it was something said meant to be a joke, but in a very bad place.
Oh, so he said that in jest?
I think they are that way as friends. That's why I'm saying that he said it in a bad place. I might be very jovial with Francis, you know, and outside the public realm, I can say certain things to Francis and we would laugh it over. And the same things me and Francis laugh over, if I were to say them on a platform like this, for instance, people outside will take offense. I am not in any way trying to make any case for the man, because my point is that he needn't have said that where he said it, even if it was a joke or something that they have had between them. He needn't have said it. But then, Kwame, this leads us into a very deep discussion about our society's view on creatives and people in movies. Some time ago, even if you were an athlete or a footballer, blah, 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 your family would not even want to project you. Ultimate point, and I said they will even tell you, someone say, Nkogu yang animase, because you were not a doctor, you were not a lawyer, you were not this or that. We live in a society where we grew up that way. Okay? So people do not take certain people. Kwame, why is it that somebody is a radio presenter, okay?
Yeah.
And he goes someplace and he's asked, oh, what do you do? And the person says, I'm a radio presenter. The next question that follows in certain cases is, oh, is that all you do? Francis, is that all you do? Because the person doesn't see a radio presenter as a profession. So he will ask you, is that all you do? If you told the person, I'm a doctor, he won't ask you if that's all you do. Or a teacher, on Kasant, on Bisao. But if you said you were a comedian, you were an actor, you were this in the creatives, they would go further to ask if that's all you do. It's the societal view of this industry. And so sometimes I do not want, I say to myself, I'm surprised that we don't know what the society thinks of us. Sometimes. It's very serious, you know. But this Habib matter, he should never have made that statement, whichever way he wanted to take it in public. Because you see the way he laughed at the end. Unfortunately, if you don't listen to him right from the beginning to the end, you will think that he was very serious about the statement that he made. I don't think he was.
He wasn't serious, eh?
I don't think he was, Francis. Do you? No, I honestly don't think he was. That's why he laughed. Because, as for me, I watched the entirety.
But how could he make an unserious statement in a serious environment?
You see, this is why I am saying that the mistake he made was making that statement where he made it. Do you think if he was with John alone somewhere and he made that statement to John, and you see when he made that statement, John felt uncomfortable, but he had a smile on his face too.
I saw his demeanor.
Yes.
He was like, what's up?
He felt uncomfortable because he also didn't expect Habib to make that statement there. He did not expect him to make that statement. I mean, I think that by now he should have come out to apologize. To put matters at
He
rest.
shared one of the artworks on his Facebook page.
He did what?
The artworks, the quote cards that we published. He shared it on his Facebook page.
And didn't make any
Just shared
comment?
it. He just shared it.
He didn't?
He didn't make any comment. No.
That's strange, because ever since this incident, I haven't actually followed, except to hear a lot of our people
talk about
you
it.
know, go ballistic at him, which they have the right to, because of where he made the statement. He shouldn't have made that statement. You remember the ex-foreign minister also made a similar statement.
Shelley Ayoko Boche.
I think it was also against
Dumelo.
Wasn't it?
During the
I think it
2020
was also
campaign,
against Dumelo during a
she said
heated
same on a campaign platform,
period,
yes, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And she made that statement because, so I am saying that it's a societal issue that we need to erase. And fortunately, some of the disciplines are now putting that to rest. Because today, if you have a son who plays football and is good at it, You, the parent, will even project him so he can go and play for Liverpool, so to speak. Not Manchester United anyway, Liverpool, so to speak. Or if you had someone who was a good boxer, you'd push him to go and box because there's money in that trade these days. So I think we need to have a reset, which is the word we are using currently.
Yeah.
About things that we do in society, so that we can all. But I think Habib should still come out and apologize to the industry.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ken. Let me get to Amele Josu. Amele was one of the people that wrote an article about this. If you go on manjoonline.com, Amele Josu has an article written on this particular issue when it happened. So Amelo has a lot to say. Amele Josu.
Hi, Kwame.
Are you still angry with him?
Oh, at first I was. But as Uncle Ken said, when you really examine the person in question, you realize there's no need to be angry, because I examined the person and then I examined his reputation when it comes to public discourse in the Parliament House. He has a reputation for making such, empty statements.
Should I say quote and an unquote unserious statement?
Very unserious, yes. And Uncle Ken was trying to touch on the fact that maybe he was trying to, it was a joke, or he said it on a lighter note. But that should tell him how serious creative arts is. Because if he couldn't even nail a joke like this, they know we mean business over here. And for me, this was my problem. I think when I saw him share that quote card on his status, it only screamed one thing: he needed attention, and he was glad that he has his name making rounds on social media and all that. We are talking about him. If it's that talkability that he needs, we'll talk about you. But for how long? How weighty was that remark? It tells more about him as a person than about the whole crate. Yeah, that stereotype has been there since. It's something we've been fighting. Because personally, I did visual art in senior secondary school.
Wow,
yeah. My first degree was in graphic design, so it's all been art. And I can tell you what it took for me to convince family that I wanted to do visual art in secondary school. Because nobody thought, why would I pay school fees for you to go and do visual art? About paint and can, you know that kind of perception. Yeah, so when you have a lawmaker, so a supposed lawmaker.
Oh, he's a lawmaker.
No, after what he said, I realized there was a difference between a lawmaker and election winners. There's a difference. We need to strike, that difference in there.
He makes laws. He's in parliament.
He won an election, so it's different. You get it? So you get to know the difference between these people. Was it supposed to be an advice? I wouldn't classify that as an advice to John Dumelo. Because when you're advising someone, probably you're advising them to, act more in a more responsible manner. Has Dumelo been irresponsible? No. Even when he was acting, his roles, no. So you can't say you are trying to guide him on to being more responsible. So it was completely needless. And when you examine the whole tape, or let me say the sound bite, he started from the whole bloody widow angle. So it was like he was on a mission to make John Dumelo look bad that day. And it didn't work out. So let me just find a way. But I think as a people, we need to move away. So when we're talking about why the tourism creative art ministry didn't feature in cabinet or something, these are some of the issues. They don't classify us as serious people. But as a country where you have a creative arts and tourism industry being part of your top 5 earners, or let me say revenue contributors, when it comes to your GDP and whatnot, it's about time. And what hurts is the fact that by the time we realize as a country that creative arts is a whole cash cow on its own, and that we need to wake up and harness this prospect, it'll be too late. It will be too late for us to benefit from that. So if they want to continue ridiculing, they should continue. We'll continue to experience that brain drain. Because if you can't take people serious, others will come for them. Let them go work, and then you can stick to your serious aspects.
Should we call him out to apologize?
We don't even have to call you out. You understand? I wanted to say, okay, I expect Auntie Jifa to, make a statement on the floor, to have her speak.
She has made a statement, not on the floor of Parliament, but during a program at her sister station, Channel 1 Television, yesterday. She made a statement. Take a listen.
My colleague, John Dumelo, was being vetted to be the deputy minister in one of the ministries. And the comment that I find totally unacceptable was made to him, suggesting that because he's an actor, he's not serious. I've seen the comments on social media and people who have sent me private messages to speak about it. I didn't think I wanted to do this in the media, but perhaps it's important that we use this platform to correct that kind of thing. It's not the first time I'm hearing it, that my space is being disrespected. It's a thing that we do often, and it happens even at the citadel of education. Why? You call us all dondologists, don't you? This is dondology that you just saw. And these people train, they rehearse, they learn, they go through a lot of training to be able to do this performance. If you don't start putting appreciation on it and value it, why do we celebrate the Heritage Month? This is part of who we are. And we must learn to be proud of it every day, not once in a month.
Okay, so Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi, Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, speaking there on Channel 1 Television, that audio there. Okay, so Amele Josu, Honorable has spoken.
Yeah, so usually right after the vetting procedure, they normally go back to the floor and discuss and everything.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that from her.
Then. Okay.
There and then. So maybe the speaker would equally address the issue, and then we settle it once and for all. But then, back to the matter. We need to.
Kwame.
Yeah.
Sorry for being so rude. But Ameli, why didn't the chairman of the appointments committee call him out?
Maybe he didn't also think it was.
Probably he also agrees. Maybe he also didn't see anything bad with what he said.
Okay,
that
it's a
stereotype has
perception
linked-
that
yeah.
most people
Because
have
chairman
about the
calls
creative
people
industry.
out for
Very.
less offenses.
So he actually called him out for when he wanted to make the bloody widow comment.
Yes.
He stopped him, quite a number of times
Yeah.
from making that comment. And then he still went ahead to talk about the creative as saying he wanted to give John an advice. Yes. And I think around that time they were wrapping up.
Advice.
Yes, can you imagine? Yeah.
Is that what he said?
No. I am describing that as a serious advice.
So Kwame, back to the matter. I think the day we're going to realize that we need to empower creatives in this country, it will be a bit too late. And I don't know what issue or what problem you are going to give to a creative that they can't solve. We are all about generating and bringing about solutions to issues. We've seen the way scientists are putting their countries on the map. We've seen the way mathematicians and whatnot are doing it. But when it comes to talkability being generated about our country, Ghana, and all the good aspects, who do we owe these things to? It's to creatives. It's to creatives, the non-serious people, in quotes. So it's about time we set up.
Great. Thank you, Amele Josu there. She is a journalist here at the Multimedia Group. Let me go straight to Uncle Francis Doku. Before I do that, let me say we also have in the studio Jesse Ejapon, who is a marketing consultant, PR executive, and a lot more. Yeah, Jesse is right here with us. Jesse, hello.
And somebody who we should question as to why he abandoned us.
Jesse, have you abandoned us?
First, you need to define the us. Define the abandon.
He was a regular member of this panel
Abandoned you.
until things got better for him.
Just like I was
and Jesse abandoned us.
Okay. And so Jesse is here with us. He is also a brand strategy consultant. Yeah. here with us here. Brand strategy consultant. Thank you very much for that one. And then Chief Mumin is here. My brother.
Yes, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm just checking TikTok
How is
now.
Ghana Bouquet doing?
Oh, we'll come to it. I'm checking TikTok now. And I see a Ken Daddy on TikTok.
So you are assuming
I'm checking. I don't know.
that could be Uncle Ken, eh? Go to the profile and see.
Oh, Chief.
Yes, good afternoon to all. Yes, it's been a busy day since this week, up and down. Also finding time to put down the Ghana travel bouquet concept, for public debates, So I'm sure we'll get to it at some point.
We'll get to that one.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me go to Uncle Francis Doku now. Let's take his take on Habib Idrisu.
On what?
On Habib Idrisu.
Oh, okay. I had Habib Idrisu. Kwame, I wasn't upset. So I don't
You
know
were
why
not.
You were adding me to those who were upset.
I was recruiting people.
But honestly, I may be one of the few people within the space who had a different view, on what the Honorable said. And I think it's important that we establish that, regardless of what everybody thinks, he is still a lawmaker. He is in Parliament until his constituents vote him out of Parliament. He's in Parliament, his name is in the Gazette as a member of Parliament, so he's there. My point is that, this is somebody who is going to a new environment, a new place. He's been known for something for a long time. This has been his career. Now he's a politician and he's going into a ministry. In fact, that ministry, there's an extension that is added to it, which wasn't part of before. So apart from going into a new area, it's also actually a new addition to a ministry. And so I see from the point that he was trying to let him know that he's going to a place which is, totally different from what he's experienced. Right. What I will contend with is that it may have come out, in a manner that looks very wrong. But I see it more as telling somebody who's going to a new place that, this is not a regular place where you've been. This is a new place and you need to work harder and assist your minister to be able to achieve the objectives for which, you're going there. But I also would agree that people will find that offensive because of a certain perception that is in the minds of people already, that the arts and the creative arts especially is not considered as a serious area, because so even though he may not have said that explicitly, that impression would be created. So I can agree to that. Not too long ago, you, George Quay, and so many other people were offended by Professor Kaufman's
statement
about
some schools singing and dancing while others were learning. George Quay says hi.
So that perception is already there, so any little push, sometimes even when it doesn't come very clear, we invoke, that mindset and then, go around and say things and all that. So I agree to that because of that perception, he should have been a bit more measured in the way he said what he said. But I feel that it was just him trying to tell somebody, and Uncle Ken, I didn't watch the whole, so I didn't know there was a prelude that showed that he knew.
He knew John. He said
they studied together in school.
He said they started to. He knew him.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. So that gives me a bit more even to that. So it may not be the platform for which you should have said that.
Exactly.
But I felt when I listened to it earlier, and also now even when I listen to it now, that he was just trying to tell somebody he knew that, look, you're going to a new area. And
it is not your movie industry, so be serious.
Yeah, it is not. But is it?
Should we listen again?
Yes, let's listen. Let's listen again.
Okay.
I feel very honored and excited about.
Joe 99.7 FM. Let me get you the voice now. Honorable Habib Idrisu.
If you go to the ministry, try to assist your minister. The ministry is a very, it's big, it's huge, and you should not try to jump the gun. And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can, so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I congratulate the nominee.
Does it mean John hasn't been serious all this while?
That's not what he meant.
It doesn't mean
No,
that.
it doesn't mean that. I don't think it means that. It's just, in my view, telling him the agenda, yeah, he has to agenda anyway, but I just feel that.
And Francis, Kwame Dadzie has been the instigator.
I haven't
of
instigated
all
anything.
this
Kwame Dadzie and George Quay.
No,
bad
I
blood.
think you
Yes,
see.
Kwame Dadzie and George Quay, they have been the instigators of this. He sends me a message and says, when I talk, I shouldn't add Manchester United to my George Quay.
Yeah, so Kwame, so my point is that again, I agree with Uncle Ken that perhaps this is not a platform in which that should have been said. But I feel that it was an admonition to somebody who was going to a new area, a new ministry, or a ministry that has had things added to it. And let's face it, you need to be very serious. You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be a poet. You don't have to be a marketing person. You don't have to be anything. But you need, whatever it is that you are, if you're going to a place like that, you need to be serious to be able to assist your minister, to be able to do what you're going there to do. I mean, trade is a big ministry already.
Agric.
And then they've added Agric. Agric. Agric is a big ministry.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens there, and all that.
Is his ministry not food and agriculture? I think the trade one is a fixed one.
No, Agric.
It's Agric.
Okay.
So it's a big ministry,
Okay.
and there's a lot that happens there. And you need to make sure that you give your best support to the minister. I mean, we've said here when it comes to tourism that usually the ministry is the minister that does everything. His decisions are what happens.
Yeah.
Deputy ministers have spoken that if you're deputy minister, you're only there to assist, as it were.
Yeah.
So I believe he was just advising him that you're going to assist and support a minister, and you need to put on your A game, in my view, to be able to do that. So I see it from that perception.
It is not your movie
perspective,
industry.
Yeah, but it's not. But Kwame, is it?
It is not.
Is it?
But the movie industry is a serious.
No, but that
industry.
ministry is not a movie industry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank
not.
you very much.
Kwame, do you think he knew about John's ventures in the Agric?
Oh yes, yes. As a
Are
friend.
you sure?
I'm sure he would have known.
Because
I'm sure he would have known. Yeah.
Because my point is, if he knew about John's ventures in agriculture,
Yeah.
as we've been seeing from John's
Yeah.
postings and the
Yeah.
works that he is up to, then he should not have used the word serious.
That is the underlying
Because
factor.
John is very serious about his agric.
So what
venture.
word should he have used?
No, I'm saying he should not have even gone there.
He shouldn't have even mentioned the movie. Just say, just be diligent, go and work hard.
Thank you.
Okay.
But if you make reference
So now
to
you're
movie industry,
saying things that he should have said.
if you mention movie industry and then you go ahead to use the word serious, it means movie industry people.
No,
are
I think
serious.
you are making that connection,
Okay.
Kwame.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are
Thank you
making
very
that
much.
connection.
Let me come to Chief Mumi before I go to Jesse. Then we go on phone and speak to a former minister. Hello, let's hear you, Chief Mumi.
If you do a forensic analysis of his statement, he was actually going to say, you are going to a serious ministry. That's actually what he was going to say. That's what he was going to say. Serious ministry. Implying that there are some unserious ministries, implying that there are some unserious ventures in life, such as being in the creative arts. And no matter how, you try to spin it, it's condemnable, He mentioned it straight that, I mean, it's not even like we are stretching the meaning. It's just as clear as day and night. He told the guy that you're going, the honorable minister, sorry, lest I'm accused, the honorable minister, that you're going to a ministry and we expect you to be serious. It's not like you're in your movie industry, right? You know, so I mean, have we made this statement to anyone else, for example? I mean, there are people who have come from different professions.
Why don't you tell them to be serious in the next
why did you even have to find the need to even bring up the issue of seriousness? I mean, we've interviewed so many ministers and deputy ministers. Have we asked someone to go and be serious because we are assuming the person is coming from a ministry that is not? So I think that was rather unfortunate. He should definitely have apologized, but obviously we've gotten the analysis of his robustness also in Parliament and, you know, the way he makes statements. But I as everyone has said, it just speaks to the general psyche of how we approach the art. And it's up to our generation, you know, to change that psyche. And it's happening. And it's going to connect even to the kind of, you know, appointment that we're already seeing. And it's going to connect to what the art is going to do for this country. For me, as I said here, I am completely convinced that we have pursued the same policies for 70 years, almost 70 years. It has really not gotten us anywhere. The structure of our economy has not changed since Gajasberg until now. I am completely convinced there is a creative sector, the creative economy, that's going to transform the structures of this economy because of a particular issue. So, I mean, we'll talk more about it.
Great.
So, yeah, I think he should apologize. But if he doesn't apologize, we should just ignore him and move forward. But it is important that when things like this come up, we all express our views and make it loud. Because if we do not begin to condemn people like this, others would make similar statements. But you know that next time if someone is coming to make that statement, the person will think twice. Yeah. So I don't even think that we've condemned him enough.
No, we haven't.
You know, we should drag him to the public guillotine.
Chop
you know, and chop off, you know, the part of the medulla oblongata that, you know, makes such.
Don't get violent, please.
Actually, we're in the month of Ramadan, so I decided that I will be very, 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 very modest in my output. But yes, I was getting worked up the more I thought about it. But you know, let's ignore him. Let's ask him to apologize. If he doesn't apologize, it's fine. We'll get him in one way or the other.
Great, thank you, Chief Mumin. Let me get to Jesse Japan. Jesse,
Chief Mumin,
do you also believe that Honorable Habib Idrisu was just joking?
So what's the basis of the question that he was just joking?
No, I'm feeding off that from a comment that Uncle Ken made earlier. Maybe you're not listening. So he thought that he said that in jest.
So this is one of the topics that I honestly wish that I didn't have to speak to. You know, sincerity. I wish that I didn't have to speak to it. The reason being that it's I can't tell whether he was speaking to the person as an individual that he knows, or he was speaking to the collective of creatives. And so Chief Mumin is right. If he's referring to a collective of creatives, then there's a question to be asked. And if he's speaking to an individual as a friend, then from Francis Doku's point, then did he choose a wrong platform to speak to a friend when that platform is a platform that has an impact on the collective? So then it becomes difficult to assess it. Again, so before I jump into a point or two, I just want to say that Uncle Ken had made a point that if he had referred to John Dumelo's other jobs, would he have referred to John Dumelo as
unserious,
as perceptually unserious? And I think that goes back to the ethos of the problem. And the fact that a creative person needs to have an extra baggage before he or she might be categorized as such, in itself is a problem.
Yeah.
When an insurance, and I think again for me that's a big deal. As a creative, you don't have to carry anything extra to be deemed to be that which you are. I sit here a lot, and I've seen many of these black actors from America, and they all come to Ghana and they go back, and nobody says that they have 100 million worth of shares anywhere else. They just say he's a fantastic actor, and we are all looking to see what they do. So what are you? I'm an actor, I'm a producer, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a banker, I'm an insurer. I think that in itself is enough for us to be able to tell who you are. One of the things that I agree with the chaps is that I think there's a systemic conversation that won't change today. And I make this point for sports, and I make the same point for entertainment. how do you, the creatives yourself, treat yourself when you get a chance? Your industry and your sector is one of the most aggressive sectors ever. When bankers are being nominated, how many bankers come out to come and condemn them that they are unfit for the job they are being nominated for?
Right.
When an auditor is being nominated for a job, how many you see auditors coming out to come and condemn the person and saying that he might be a thief and don't give him the job and things like that? Yes, but no, I understand that. There's a general difficulty, because it's always difficult for creatives to appreciate a creative being put in a higher office. Take a look at all the creatives, all the conversations that once anybody's name comes up, it's a massive conversation of how the person may be unfit and whether he's fit. So as a creative, if Francis Duku is ever appointed into any position, he has to come and remind the creative sector that he has an MBA in zoology, he has an MPhil in martial warfare and things like that. So for me, I honestly, precisely. So I think in my view, this is not I will not over amplify this point. I don't know whether he was joking or whether he was serious, and I also don't know whether he was speaking to John as a person or he was speaking to the collective of creatives. So in that stead, I would stay him for
he
now
was
in my
addressing
mind.
John.
Yes, I get that. Again, he said when you go do ABCD, and the reason I'm choosing this path is this: if I deem his comment as a reflection on the collective, we will be wilder than we are now. Because then that will be a major issue. So I think in my appreciation of the conversation, I would rather err on the side of he saying, as an example, that I'm speaking to you as Chief Moomen, that as Chief Moomen, you are a fantastic, creative-minded person. Or Chief Moomen, the shows you are doing this, it'll be funny, Charlie, you'll be silly guy, pal. You get what I mean? So I would rather sit my mind in that context. But if I elevate it into a reflection of the entire creative industry, then boy, oh boy, you guys are being charitable to him.
Jesse, I like how you played it.
yeah. You know me. Yes.
Yeah.
I think the condemnation is fine.
Yeah.
But I would think it would be also unfair to the MP if we were, what's the word, extrapolating it as if he's addressing the whole
Collective.
No, well, we didn't do
it was
that.
one person who was sitting in front of him for the person. So I feel that then it will become a bit unfair to him also.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that, oh, so you're not just talking to John, you're talking to a whole community of people who fit into that. I mean,
because if we did that, then trust me, I would sit here and we need to talk about the contribution of the arts to Ghana's growth.
Right.
Exactly.
We need to speak about how the art is creating jobs. And an art that probably creates more jobs in the informal sector than anything else. I mean, I saw Chief Moomen at the APN program.
Yeah.
And his presence as Chief Moomen came with, if I'm not mistaken, you came with more than 30 people.
All right.
Oh, at the dinner, right?
At the dinner, yes. So Chief Moomen's arrival at the dinner, in my view, was like...
Not as like bodyguards.
No. But
as performance.
He came with almost about 40, 50 people performing. So you can imagine the economy he created that particular night. The drivers who came there, the food they ate, the costume he was wearing, everything else. So again, if we need to have an economic conversation, then trust me, it will be a different one. So
But
I think it's
thankfully
okay.
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Please.
So let's limit it to...
Thank you very much. Let's quickly go on phone.
Yes.
Let's speak to... Yeah. Let's speak to the former Deputy Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture, Mark Okrekumante. He's on phone now. Let's speak to him. Good evening, Honorable.
Good evening, Kwame.
Good to have you on Showbiz A to Z.
Thank you. Good to hear from you too.
We understand you are listening to us.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And next time, make sure Jesse doesn't speak before me.
Jesse?
Yes, he's Jesse not in the studio.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Was it Jesse, the one who just spoke?
Yeah, that's Jesse.
And that's why I say next time, don't make Jesse speak before me.
Okay, is that
Because
next time Jesse shouldn't speak before him?
most of the things I want to say.
Okay. In the meantime, Mark, what's your take on this whole Habib comment on John Dumelo?
Okay, quick one. You know, there's history to this. About 4 years ago, Navo Aikobuke said something about John Dumelo. Same John Dumelo. Today, Honorable John Dumelo. I don't know if you remember.
Please, which one?
I was the same.
Okay.
Honorable Aikobuke said that at the time, he was competing with Honorable Sarah Malasa. And Honorable Aikobuke went there and said that they should tell John that Parliament is not what he thinks it is. He said, I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do. We do.
All right.
We even spoke about it a while ago.
Oh, okay, good. So that is some history around the same John Dumelo as a brand. But I think that the creative industry is becoming oversensitive. And I'll explain why. That's why I said I side with Jesse somehow. The industry is becoming oversensitive. If you watch the video very well, you could see the eye contact between Honorable Habib and Honorable John Dumelo. The two of them were having fun. So after Honorable Habib's statement, watch the body language of John. Honorable John Dumelo opened the two arms and whether he was whispering or murmuring, said something like, "Are you white?" You can go and watch the video again. Which tells you that they have some rapport. Maybe they decided they forgot that this was national television and this was something different from what they do at Gimpa. Those of you who are close to Honorable John Dumelo, you should remind yourself. The few times I have met him, that I'm around him, he's always cracking jokes. He will make you laugh. So I am sure that Honorable Habib said that based on the fact that we were school. You remember this what you used to do. Don't bring it. That's your thing that you do on your father's side. When you come to your mother's side, don't bring it here. If you ask me how I've known Honorable John, I don't know Honorable Habib too much like I know Honorable John. But with the eye, body language, and the contact that they were giving to each other, you could tell that they are speaking something that we have taken it maybe out of context. But can we blame the creative industry too if they are oversensitive? Like Honorable Jifagumashi said, when she was in school, they used to call them dondology. So for her, she's waiting for the slightest thing to react. It's only natural that people who have been treated like this for a long time, they are likely to react this way when you try to touch a nerve. But this is where I said that I agree with Jesse. How have we positioned the creative industry? Look, during the week, if you have time, especially the account channels, you go and listen. People are insulting. People are talking raw. That's what I want to say a few weeks ago in a hard issue. But give the same opportunity to pharmaceuticals. Give the same opportunity to oil and gas. The fact that you're a boxer doesn't mean that you box in town. You only box when you get into the ring. When you get outside the ring and you box, it is illegal. So the creative people must position themselves such that respect the crowd, the money. And I respect your show, the show that you're doing now, because of how you have positioned the show, the people who come on it, how they even when they are catching a joke, the joke is managed. But how some of us fought to get these content on radio? Showbiz, myself, Kokstamakulu, you can talk to Mr. Tamen. When we were starting, these contents were not allowed on radio. But we fought, and then Tamen allowed. That was, Joy FM is 30 years. That was 30 years ago. What have we done to it? It's of us to use it to build the image, because you have microphones. Any perception, any image, any positioning you want to use your media houses to do for the art, you can do it. How are we using our microphone? I rest my case. Uncle Ken,
what about you?
Uncle Ken.
Now, what then?
You na digital and what the man now still we semi digital.
Oh, now some me buy match.
It's so a full digital.
You.
Oh, I'll inform Dr. Baumia.
Mark, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Here on Joy 99.7 FM. That was the former Deputy Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture, Mark Okrekumanti, there sharing his thoughts on the comments that Honorable Habib Idris made regarding John Dumelo, saying that he should be serious when he gets to the Food and Agriculture Ministry. That is not his movie industry. Okay.
Kwame.
Thank you, Uncle Ken.
Yes. 1 minute. Jesse touched on this issue about what the industry people themselves think of themselves. And Mark also reiterated that fact in his submission. It's a big issue because, you see, you cannot force people to take you for what you think you are, but are not. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. You cannot force people to say you are this when they don't see you as that. And that is the major problem with our industry. You look everywhere. All the organizations, most of the organizations in the industry are at war with each other. This industry that we have, most of the organizations are at war with each other. And
but there are challenges in every institution.
Oh, yes, there are. Are there no challenges in, like, who was it who made the point? Are there no challenges in the medical profession? Are there no challenges in the teaching profession? Are there no challenges elsewhere? But when they are gunning for a particular objective, they put those challenges away and go for what they think they should get as a collective.
Yes.
That's what they do.
Does not negate our
That's
impact
what they do. But
and
what do
value
we do?
and worth.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Because we also live our life in the public eye. That's the nature of the creative business. So
Yeah.
invariably we wash our linen in the public. As against, I mean, banking is almost very secretive. The kind of scandals,
They don't have microphones.
scandals that happen in the
Whenever they
banking
do, it's not
industry.
amplified
It's not
like
amplified.
Thank you.
So yes, there's. I recognize the point.
But
that
that's
we
why
have
you
to check
should be
ourselves.
discreet
Yes.
with a lot of the things that you put out because you have access to the microphones.
I heard a quote somewhere that "Sika ofia be ni ho." You know, the
That's
industry,
true.
there's a lot of
That's
poverty.
true.
But as the industry develops and, you know, becomes more profitable, the pay in some will reduce.
It doesn't also mean that people can just come and
Of course,
run us down
yeah.
just like
When
that.
they do that, we have
Just
to.
to add on,
because we have value.
when Uncle Ken is saying that
Okay,
we have
final
to be,
one, then we go for
we have
commercial
to
break.
be united. I mean, the action movies that goes on on the floor of Parliament, you can't
Chewing
compare
of ballot
to
papers, sitting on people's
you
laps.
can't really compare it to what goes on in
At
Hollywood.
all.
Yeah? But then nobody, they won't allow any outsider to come disrespect them like that.
They would
So the
hold you
fact
before the privileges
Yes.
If you be a man, say we move. So the fact that we are, I mean, just a few are loggerheads with it doesn't mean people
Not
should
a
just
few.
they should quite a number. Doesn't mean people should respect us like that.
055-111-997. Please send in your thoughts. Let's go for a spin. When we come back, we have more for you.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour.
Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Hits FM on Mondays at 5:30 a.m. and Joy Prime TV on Saturdays at 7 a.m.
Are you a female entrepreneur, young business owner, agribusiness, fintech, or agri-tech venture? This one's for you. We see your need for funding for your business, and we believe that your story matters. So in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering you collateral-free loans of up to 1 million Ghana cedis at 10% interest rate per annum. We've already pumped over 1.3 billion cedis into over 6,000 businesses. Yours is next. Visit our SME project office, your nearest ABSA branch, or head to absa.com.gh. Your story matters. ABSA.
Want more money, more moolah, more kudi, more sika, or more l'argent?
Yes!
Then win more moolah with 30 Ghana cedis free credit when you play Game Park's Pick 1 and Pick 4 games for the first time.
How?
Just dial *946#, get your first bet, and win on us with a 30 Ghana cedi welcome bonus.
Oh yes, it's all about the moolah.
Win more moolah with Game Park today. Go to GameParkGames.com for more information. Game Park is licensed by the NLA. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under 18 years.
Feel the excitement. Enjoy the conversation. Come with us on this exciting journey of growth and personal development. We challenge you to break the status quo, step out and do big things. Catch host Reverend Albert Okran as he vibes with CEOs, experts, and changemakers. Right here on Springboard, your virtual university. Now showing every Sunday at 9 p.m. on Joy News TV, 7 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM, and streaming online on Facebook and YouTube. You can't miss it. Partners, MTN Ghana, Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program. A collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Media partners, Joy FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. Springboard. Your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around. Here's where we turn around.
Are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Every single day, you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand to win a massive 1 million Ghana cedis jackpot. All you need to do is to log in and take your spin. Exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
Ago mi here nya wawa tu kemba Ghana nyon ye joy Akwabo
miyawezo
mama wana akwabo
barka da zuwan watan kasan Ghana anan gidan Radio Joy
obenim busumi eye Ghana busumi
miyawezo va Ghana month jilla Joy 99.7 FM
akwaba eba Ghana month on Joy
Mimabe akwaba wo Ghana siani lile yazo wo Joy. We invite all of you to join us this March as we celebrate Ghana here on Joy 99.7 FM.
During this Ghana month, you will be treated to our history, tourism, arts and culture,
our music, our food, language, beliefs, and all that makes us unique as a people.
Right here on Joy 99.7 FM. You'll also get to tell us stories about your region, town, or village and why we should make it a destination. Celebrating our uniqueness as a people.
Ghana Month on Joy FM.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy. Joyously Ghanaian.
Ghana, we now have freedom.
Joy 99.7 FM Superstation Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. I'm here with Uncle Ken, Jesse Japan, Francis Doku, Chief Momen, Amele Josu. In the meantime, are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Every single day, you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand to win a massive 1 million Ghana cedis jackpot. So what are you waiting for? Log into betway.com.gh today and take your spin, all thanks to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Now, the 3rd edition of Women of Valor lands in the beautiful city of Light, Paris, France. Get ready to experience a movement of audacious women sharing untold stories of courage and resilience. And this year's powerhouse lineup are Chidinma Adechina, representing Nigeria, Miss Universe Nigeria, and first runner-up Miss Universe. Anna Shabinina from France, luxury real estate expert and CEO of AS Global Reality. We have Tuchi Ivori from Ghana, CEO and founding member of the Ghana Commodity Exchange. We have Mami Jemfo Yeboah, who is CEO and founder of All My Hair and Office and Co. by SA. Sika Goka is etiquette coach and hospitality consultant. It's happening on 7th March 2025. Just don't hear about it. You can experience it. Travel with us to Paris and be part of this live transformational experience. Just call 055-6749-872 for all the details. Joy 99.7 FM coming back for the big convo. So 5 more creatives have been appointed to various positions in President Mahame's government. We have KOD, Kofi Ochedako. He's been appointed as Director of Diaspora Affairs. Rex Omar, Coordinator in charge of Black Star Experience at the Office of the President. We have Abeku Agri Santana, who is Deputy CEO at the Ghana Tourism Authority. Kafui Danku, Executive Secretary of the National Film Authority, and James Gardner, Deputy Executive Secretary of National Film Authority. Now let's come in here and talk.
Close our conversation on Habib.
I thought we were done.
Yes, we are done. No, not to go back into it.
Quickly.
With the quotation that I saw,
Okay,
that
quickly.
I think
quickly.
is important.
Quickly, sir.
It says that we've been conditioned as a people to think that only politicians can solve our problems. But at some point, maybe we will wake up and recognize that it was the politicians who created our problems.
Because the politicians are not a special breed of
for
people.
another day, please. Okay, so
I'm
let's talk
closing
about
off the conversation.
Please, let's talk
Politicians are
about
not a special
the
breed
5
of people.
creatives who've been appointed. Let's talk about the KOD, Rex Omar, Abeku Agri, Kafui Danku, James Gardner. Let me start with Jesse. Let me.
Jesse Jacks.
Which of them came to you as a surprise? Did you get any surprise when you heard?
I don't think I was surprised by any of the appointments. I would say that I was just delighted about some of the appointments. And then I asked the question of what next. But I think that in principle, I'm not one to be surprised or shocked by many things, especially appointments of individuals who are supposed to be working for the person who appointed them. So there's a reason he appointed them. So it's not for me to be shocked. If you're asking me to speak to a specific one.
Okay, let's start with KOD. So KOD is Director of Diaspora Affairs.
Yes.
And I want to read something, the mandate of the director. So this directorate was established in February 2017 within the Office of the President. Kwesi Ewabebio was the director then. And at its core, the office is dedicated to strengthening the ties between Ghana and its diaspora community. It serves as a bridge, fostering meaningful connections, celebrating achievements, and encouraging active participation in Ghana's socio-economic development. It says a key focus of the office is youth engagement, working closely with Ghanaian youth organizations abroad to ensure that second and third generation Ghanaians remain connected to their heritage. Additionally, the office maintains a comprehensive database of Ghanaians in the diaspora, streamlining their identification, location, and mobilization for national development. In collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Diaspora Affairs Office ensures that Ghanaians abroad have a direct link to government agencies promoting investment and development initiatives that drive economic growth. So the office played a pivotal role in the landmark initiatives Year of Return, Beyond the Return. That's the mandate of that office, and KOD is the one occupying that. Before you speak, let's hear from KOD. He has this to say after the appointment.
I feel very honored and excited.
office is not too new to me because I've had a lot of relationships with that office, and of course the year of return and beyond the return since 2017, since its inception in 2017. Essentially, my work is going to be one that will be of collaboration between the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Tourism, GTA, GIPC, and of course the Black Star Experience Secretariat, which is going to be headed by Rex Omar. At its core, we're going to work with Ghana and its diaspora and communities across the world, especially in the areas of youth, organizations abroad. We're going to be very keen and intentional about investment opportunities to Ghana. We're going to look at education opportunities to Ghana. We're also going to look at opportunities of health to enhance our health sector in this country. So these are just going to be some of the key areas that we would work on. The Black Star Experience, looking beyond what the previous government did with the year of return and beyond the return. We're going to have a 12-month calendar filled with different activities between December and between January and December each year. We're going to be very intentional to project Ghana to the rest of the world. So these are some of the things we're going to do once we assume office. Yesterday was my first day at work, and we're excited. We're looking at collaborating with all our partners, the United Nations, UNESCO, and the African diaspora, to make sure that we take this office to the next level.
Okay, so that's KOD, the Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Presidency, talking to us earlier on Showbiz A to Z. Jesse.
First of all, I congratulate him on this appointment, and I want to say that I wish him very well. Also, I'm somebody who's tried to pay attention to that space for a while, and I would say that the desk he's going to be managing would be one of the most difficult coordinating roles for anybody to do. And the reason I say this is that it's a role that struts multiple agencies and ministries. And in his interview, he had made a point about working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, if you go back to when the function was previously created, the function, they created it was a 17 cross-sectorial committee. So you had almost about 17 agencies and ministries coming together to form to work on what you might call the Ghana's diaspora policy. 17. And just to give you a sense of what the agencies look like, to give you a sense of what we should be expecting or what the previous government intended to do. So the 17 agencies, as an example, would be the Diaspora Affairs of the President, where he is going. You have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and interestingly, they separated the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from the Diaspora Affairs at the ministry itself. Attorney General's Department, Trade, Employment, Finance, GIPC, Interior, Police, Immigration, Information. It's a long list. And the reason is this, that there are lots of things that those in the diaspora are looking for. So you would find National Identification Authority being a part of that committee. And the question is that why are they there? Because those in the diaspora must be identified. So there's a job relative to identification of those in the diaspora. Number 2 is about real estate. So how do we make it easier for those in the diaspora to be able to jump onto Ghana's real estate sector, to be able to take advantage of it? Then you've got citizenship conversation. Then you've got interior. So it's a 17 agency committee. That's really big. Now, your job as the Director of the Diaspora Affairs is to coordinate government's policy documents that had been put together prior. So the first thing is to take a look at the document. The second thing is this, that go back and find out how much remittances we got as a country from the diaspora. It's north of $4 billion. So the question is, how do you grow that, and how do you work around that? Now, interestingly, it's not a job specifically for the diaspora person to do, but you have a huge role to play in making that actually work.
Yeah.
Again, if you check it out, one of the complexities that comes with a job is that if you have multiple desks sitting at multiple agencies, all speaking to the same thing, then sometimes you face a difficulty in terms of implementation. So I'll give you an example. The diaspora desk sitting at GIPC did a lot of investment attraction activities. So the question is, are we going to continue those activities? And those activities were focused on one thing: get the attention of those in the diaspora, and those who have capital injections aimed at Africa, drive the capital injection into Ghana. Don't forget, Nigeria is on a war footing for diaspora now. So they are gunning for them heavy. So whoever leads a diaspora charge has got to be somebody who is able to lead this in a very fantastic way. If you put GIPC aside and all the annual events it used to drive focus on diasporans as much as possible, you go to the foreign affairs desk. And the foreign affairs desk, the presidency and the rest of the teams are always traveling around the world engaging with diasporans. And so for me, the job that he has is not a job for just harnessing agency relationships and moving agencies across. No. The job is about finance attraction, it's about investment attraction. The job is about also promoting the culture to those in the diaspora. So you realize that part of the job that the 17 agency committee did was to attempt to work on a roadmap for 15 months. Now that roadmap was very, very broad. And that roadmap included everything you would call from the December thing you guys do. What's it called? December to remember. So every event on the event calendar is part of it. So for me, I'm happy for him because it's a big job, but it's also a very complicated job. Because managing cross-sector agencies is not an easy thing to do. For me, it's a big deal. So this will be my preliminary talk on the job that KOD has been given.
Great.
It has investment leg, it has cultural attraction leg, and now he himself is saying that it's about also focusing on second and third generation and ensuring that they can be made citizens right here in Ghana, giving them a place to be, and how do we integrate them. It's a big deal. It will be my first comment on KOD.
Thank you very much. 05511119997. It's our WhatsApp number. If you have anything to tell us, just drop the comment. Now, let me move to Francis Doku. Uncle Francis, KOD on, he's director of diaspora affairs at the presidency, or at the office of the presidency.
I think first of all, we need to. I will congratulate KOD on this appointment because, not just because, but he has a big job. And so I congratulate him. We've all been in this industry for so long, and if one of us has found favor in the eyes of the president and he's appointed him to such a monumental, if you like, position in government, I think it's worth celebrating. But it will come back again to what Jesse said, that this is a big job. It is a big job. I've had interaction with Mr. Ababio before, I think around 2019, thereabout. And I realized that this is a position that involves a lot, bringing a lot of people together from different sectors to make sure that our destination will be very attractive to the people in the diaspora. And so there's a lot that would have to be done, a lot of relationship management, with different industries and different ministries, different sectors, to make sure that we present our destination as a viable, place where people have to invest. And so it is a very big job and a difficult one. But we've gone through a lot of, hard life to be able to reach it. I'm talking about
Odeshi.
But it means that there's a lot also that need to be, for all the things that have been done prior to now, this is a new desk, if you like, a new office that relatively new compared to other, sectors. Like GIPC has been there for long, GTA, but this is very new. And so the learnings are not very much far to the, behind. It's very new. And I think there's a need to look at what has been done, over the last, how many years? 8 years?
2017 till now,
years. So that maybe he would understand the point where we want to take this to. It doesn't mean that he has to do the same thing. Otherwise, there's no point in appointing a new person and looking forward to how we can do it better. But all that, I believe, will come to the vision that the president has. I have tried to consistently make the case that anybody who's going to work would have to work with what vision the president has.
True.
Anybody appointed who's going to work, because he's the one we voted for, based on what he told us that he would do. And so I don't know what vision the president has as far as that particular is concerned. But he will know, by all means, if he's briefing him to take over that role, probably he'll have told him, this is what I want, this is what I want. So it may not be the same thing as before. It could be, but it may not necessarily be the same thing as before. So it will come down to what vision the president has and how he wants to harness, those opportunities within the space, the diaspora space, to be able to help the sector growth. But be that as it may, I think the thing that would be most necessary, in my view, is how KOD works with the different sectors that all come together to make that office, or work to make sure that we project our office very well. It's very important. If you are not very good at relationships, you have to begin to acquire.
Yeah.
I think his early or initial drawbacks will be how to navigate public sector relationships. Because if you've been in the private sector for so long and you come to public sector, things work differently. So those will be, in my view, the early area. And those are the areas that I think that he will need to work on very much, to ensure that they help him, be able to do it. So if some ministers and CEOs and people like that, when they come to office and feel that they know everything and do not want to try to learn how things work around those spaces, they end up not succeeding. So I hope that he would find ways to properly learn how these things work in the initial space, how to properly harness all the relationships and work with people to make sure that so despite having your vision, your understanding of the work that you're coming to do, there's a need, in my view, to try and learn how things work again in the public space a bit, so that helps him too. So as we wish him well, we also hope and pray that he applies himself to some of these things and learn a bit, so that helps him to be able to succeed.
Thank you, Francis Doku. Let me go to Uncle Ken. Yes, Uncle Ken.
Kwame, I think we have so many people to
Yes. So
I don't want to belabor the point.
Okay.
I want to congratulate Kofi on his appointment. I like Kofi very much. I've known Kofi for a while, and he's a great guy. I was quite surprised by Jesse's revelation about the office, because I didn't know too much about it. Myself.
Yeah.
So Jesse just told us that it had a 17-member.
It had a 17
member committee. Yes.
It had 17 representations.
Yes. And
it was an interministerial committee.
Oh, that's huge.
And that's at that time it was chaired by a minister.
Yeah, which minister? Foreign Affairs?
It was chaired by Foreign Affairs.
Yes,
and
because
it was
later,
when she got busy, it was then handed over to Minister for Information to chair.
For Information.
To chair,
not tourism or creative.
Information chair, yes.
Yeah. Because it says that ministry, in collaboration with the Ministry of that office, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, ensures that Ghanaians abroad have a direct link to government agencies, promoting investment and development initiatives that drive economic growth.
Sure.
But that office also played a pivotal role in landmark initiatives such as the Year of Return and subsequently beyond the return. So I agree with you perfectly when you say he has a difficult job.
It's a big job
to traverse, because to go through all these people, and where is that office?
At Jubilee House.
Office of the President.
It's at the office. Once again, that office of the President.
Sorry. Can I say one thing? And you
okay.
Interestingly, the members of that committee then were very active members. So you have the NIA that's very keen on understanding how we can integrate the diasporans into our database. and then security, the police, and so each sector, each agency had a unique plan that was put together into the full diaspora policy, out of which they teased a 15-month roadmap. So he has a base to spring from in this journey on which he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Uncle Ken.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I just wish Kofi well.
All right.
And hope things
All right.
go smoothly.
Thank you very much. You can also send your message now, 05511119997. Do you have anything to tell all the appointees now? Kofi Ochedako, Rex Oma, Kafui Danko, James Gardner, Abeku Santana. Amele Josu.
Yeah, Kwame. So on KOD's appointment, I just want to touch on the creative aspect. Him being a creative.
Yeah.
Getting that appointment to that.
Oh, we are creative biased. We are art biased.
More microphone.
Your microphone.
I mean, based on what happened in the previous administration, as part of his core duties, it's supposed to be a bridge that will foster relationships and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what we saw in the previous administration, we saw so many of these big names from Hollywood and all around the world coming down
Meek
to the
Mill.
country and whatnot. But then there was a problem. There was
Meek Mill was here again.
I don't know what happened to the bridge, because the bridge seemed to have been broken there, because that linkage between the Hollywood stars and our talents, our local talent, let me say, didn't really happen. We saw most of the comedians complaining when Dave Chappelle came to Ghana, and even when they had to attend that summit or seminar, you were not supposed to use your phones. You couldn't get closer to him. You couldn't do what. And Spike Lee also came down.
Spike Lee's incidents, yeah.
And then Spike Lee was like, he didn't even know that we had a movie industry in Ghana. NFA then, the boss at the NFA then said she wasn't aware that Spike Lee was also coming at that time also. She wasn't sure about the schedule, and she tried arranging a meeting with him and it didn't happen. So that means that collaboration didn't happen among the agencies. It didn't happen. So that link was broken. They couldn't bridge that gap between the locals and then the foreigners, which is something we need to look at very well. So with his background as a creative person, I hope he's going to work on that, because if we want to change the fortunes of this country, it will take the creative economy to
exactly
do that. Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amelo Josu. Let's do Chief Muming now. Chief.
So we're speaking to each one of them individually.
Yes, we'll go to the next one, to Rex in a moment. Yeah.
Well, first of all, a big congratulations to all of them. I know we've been congratulating people a lot, but actually when you think about the responsibility ahead, maybe we should actually express our sympathies.
Yeah.
Because the job is actually enormous. If you speak to any of these appointees who has just, now gone into office, beginning to test the temperature, they'll tell you that the pressure, the governance pressure, the political pressure, people are looking for jobs, people are calling, the food soldiers are wild. So it's not an enviable position to be in. And President Mahama has a 4-year mandate, and so he is out there for his legacy. So, I was going to say he's not here to joke.
It's serious business.
So it's actually a huge responsibility on each and everyone who's been given a position, because the government needs to move in a particular direction. We all know that there's a challenge with our economy, which, the economy must be revitalized. To do so, all hands must be on deck. Specifically for KOD and the office that he holds, congratulations to him. For me, we just have to be, and I've said this a few times on this show, be very careful about our diaspora policy. I am more in favor of circulation than resettlement. Obviously, if there are a few people who want to resettle, they are welcome to. A few people who want citizenship, they are welcome to. But we should be careful. We are not positioning Ghana as a place where we are calling every people of African descent to come and resettle, because that may come with its own problems. Already you can begin to see the tensions, because the criticism is coming that some of these real estate projects, they are just doing it solely for themselves. So, there's real estate that is there, like a whole estate just targeted at African, the Black American community, or let's say the diaspora community. So we may end up creating fiefdoms in our little country, and the integration that we want between the locals and other people coming in may not be there, and we may end up crowding out the locals. There may be gentrification happening in our systems where we push people to the periphery, So I think that we must be just be mindful of the kind of resettlement policies that we are pushing for. I am definitely in favor of circulation. I think that we should look at how we are boosting our tourism numbers. I think that there should be a great ambition and an agency that ties all of these interagency projects together, and teasing it a bit of it, I think we should have a solid number. And that's what I teased in my first post, that we should be able to attract 2 million people just on the basis of heritage tourism over a 2-year period, returning a $10 billion value into the economy. I think that when we set for ourselves a very bold target, and there's an agency in the national psyche, and all the agencies are working together, know that, okay, this is our target, we can measure results. Because usually, sometimes it's difficult to actually measure the full results. We see, yes, there's the year of return, people have come in, there was debate about numbers and here and there. But if we have a system in place where we know that this is a big target that we've put on ourselves, everyone is supposed to jump in. Even foreign affairs, our embassies all across the country must be, across the world must be keyed into our tourism agenda, and they must all be sales points, for that return that we are looking for. I think that then we can measure our success. So yes, it's a big responsibility, but I am happy with that position where it is located, and we'll come to Rex Omar where it is located. It means that the president is taking this seriously. If you are in the office of a president, it supposes that you have the ear of the president. Obviously, a lot of people are attempting to get, even his ministers, want his ear, but at least it offers a certain level of proximity, and how you leverage that proximity is really important, because as Francis Doku said, at the end of the day, it's the vision of the president, and we have an almost imperial presidency in the way our constitution is designed. So the president is very powerful. So if the president wants to push through a particular agenda, essentially, he can will the nation, to Qatar in that respect. So let's congratulations to KOD. I also know that because he's in the fashion industry, he can also see how he will very well project the fashion. I'm very excited with what is happening in the Ghanaian fashion industry. Now every young Ghanaian professional has a couple of kaftans in their in their. And the last time I went to my kaftan dealer, he couldn't even have attention for me. So chief, people are calling me, they're ordering 10, they're ordering 20. These new politicians who are in positions, people are ordering for them, they themselves are ordering. So I looked at the 2 or 3 I wanted to do. I said, okay, well, let me just go and revitalize my old kaftans like that. When you are ready, please bring me one. But congratulations to KOD.
Okay, thank you, Chief Moomin. Let's move straight to Rex Omar. Rex Omar is coordinator of Black Star Expo.
To harmonize the delivery of the Black Star experience as it is in the manifesto. For example, we will be responsible for strategic vision and framework in relation to, say, branding and marketing initiatives, collaborative partnerships, investment mobilization, job creation, and then youth empowerment. So you see, so long as job creation and youth empowerment comes in, we have to liaise and collaborate with the Ministry for Youth Development and Empowerment. So those things that falls under the Ministry of Tourism will collaborate with the minister and the ministry with its implementing agencies to harmonize, to make sure that everything goes on smoothly. We will be responsible in governance and leadership so far as the Black Star experience is concerned. Brand development and all that. So this and more. And some of the projects that falls under the Black Star experience are infrastructural. So we will be responsible in mobilizing investment and also liaise between various private investors who would want to partner with us through PPP to be able to deliver our mandate. So our job is actually cut out for us. For example, we will have to go through capacity building with the various sectors of the industry, i.e. the tourism people, the creative arts people, and the culture sectors and all that. And all these things, we'll be doing it in collaboration. The word is collaboration because our work is coordination to make sure we are not there to impose our will on any already existing institutions. Our job is collaborative, so we make sure that we are able to help to deliver the Black Star experience seamlessly. So this is what and more is our job. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Rex Omar there speaking to us earlier on in the day. Yes. Francis Doku. Yeah. Rex. Black Star Experience Coordinator. Yes, Kasa. Nana Kasa.
No, I mean, once again, yeah, we're happy that somebody from the industry has been recognized again by Mr. President and given that position. It must be said that was the Black Star Experience was the linchpin, if you like, of the president or the party's tourism
and creative arts.
And creative arts.
Culture, creative arts,
Yeah. What do you call it? Promise.
Yeah.
If you like. And so it's very important, I believe, to the success of whatever the government would do as far as tourism and creative arts is concerned. And we know, for instance, there were rumors that Rex was going to be appointed as deputy minister. It didn't happen, and then he's given this position. I think this is as equally important as the one we spoke about earlier.
KOD's
but this
position
is more specific to the tourism promise. And I believe that Rex was part of the people who developed the tourism part of the manifesto, the likes of Sadiq, Rex. I mean, even when you remember when we had a debate, Rex and Sadiq were the one who were speaking to these things. At the debate, I thought that his delivery wasn't convincing at the debate, but I believe he understands it. They were part of all that. And so, who best? I think if anybody would be chosen to head these Black Star Experience, in my view, it would either be Rex or Sadiq, and Rex has been chosen. And so I think as we congratulate him, we hope that he would put all the things that have to be put together to bring everything together and make sure that they implement it as they said. The promise was that there will be monthly activities, of culture, of heritage,
food, fashion, music,
fashion and all
concert party.
I think when the president spoke, he mentioned the is it Diaspora Month? Yeah, where a lot will happen and there will even be concert party and all that. So I think that his job is cut for him.
Yeah.
And I hope that he would put together all the necessary, things that need to be done to be able to execute. Because the success of this would benefit the industry as much as will benefit people, employ people, give jobs to people, theater people, arts people, creative people, and all that. So I hope and I pray that it is successful and that Rex will be able to deliver as has been hoped for him too, so that it benefits everybody within the space. Kwame, we're on the path to making sure that tourism becomes the #1 foreign exchange earner, and I believe some of these things would lead us to be able to, if we implement them well, they will lead us there, and we'll get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francis Doku. There. Now let me come to Amele Josu. Rex Omar is at the office of the president. Black Star Experience. Good news.
Yeah, it's good news. I mean, I'm all for creatives, leading the charge, but I can only wish him well. Yeah, Uncle Ken doesn't get one.
Why?
No, I can only wish him well because leading up to today's show, I chanced on an interview where people, so far his appointment came as a shock to some people who
for the Black Star Experience,
who were part of those who drafted the manifesto and everything for the NDC, because they believe that I think they are saying that the whole Black Star Experience was someone's brainchild, so they would have expected.
Oh, I think Akofa Jenny said that yesterday on.
So they would have expected.
Wakefield Akwoku.
Yeah,
that is what they are. They are saying.
And from what she said, she was like, they had already put everything together. It was already done before Rex came in to contribute to other parts of the manifesto. So he doesn't really have a full grasp of that concept. So they would have expected, someone else to lead that charge. So that's what I'm saying. I can only wish him well, because the stakes are really high when it comes to his appointment. So I hope he's able to, rope all those involved in to help him, deliver successfully, because there's a flagship one.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he has to really deliver on that.
I think this is party matter.
The justices of the Supreme
This is party matter. Inti Maya Bekanyende Unkoti Wofiasem. We're here talking about the appointments of the creatives to President Mahama's government, the chief woman. Yeah.
Well, since we're on the Black Star Experience idea, I mean, first of all, I think it's a brilliant activation. That's what I see it. You remember how for several years I complained that I thought Beyond the Return as an activation was so anticlimactic after a year of return. It should have just continued. So what I like about the Black Star Experience is that it's not final. It's not like something we're doing between now and this and that is it, right? So it can be given a shelf life that is extended. I think that the Black Star Experience, our initial plans should last for about 10 years actually. I don't think they should even rush to implement. I think they should take their time, the government and its agencies, to plan very well. It doesn't mean that it has to start this March or the next, 2 or 3 months. I think that they should plan it very well so that when they're executing it, execution will be well. And I think that there's a great opportunity at our 70th anniversary, which I'm going to write about, from our 70th to our 80th anniversary, from our 80th anniversary to our 90th anniversary, and from our 90th anniversary to our centenary. So we have a period of 30 years that I think we can use to completely transform our economy through tourism, arts, and culture, through a 30-year master plan. And the good thing about it is that many of us, God willing, will be alive, to see it. Uncle Ken, how old are you now? We pray for God's mercies. But we are looking at a transformation in a generation is very possible. So I'm very, very excited about the idea of a Black Star Experience and what it can mean. And, going back into our heritage and claiming this brand. And so congratulations on, first of all, the party for whoever suggested it and for they seeing the light in it and for the president approving it. And now putting, Anchor X in charge. He said it from the very beginning, his work is cut out for him. I acknowledge the fact that His Excellency the President has put him in the presidency. So once again, that is, positioning this particular position to such an extent that we know it's an important role. And I'm very excited about all the creatives. All that I just want to warn against is the danger of moral licensing. And I'm saying this, even if each and every one of them fail, in the unlikely case they do, it shouldn't be an end to us promoting creatives into position of power and authority. We can't say, because we gave this person a chance and they didn't deliver to our expectation, we will not give this person, other people, a chance. That's called moral license. You do one good deed to excuse several bad deeds. There is a change occurring. For now, we have our first ever tourism minister from the industry. I stand to be corrected, Francis Doku, right? Have we ever had anyone from the industry being a tourism minister?
This is the first time.
Yeah, this is the first time. And this is the first time we have a lot more creatives, as in people who are overtly in the creative industry, who have been given position. So if you look at for the past 10 years plus, our activism is yielding results. Right now, when the president is State of Nation address, they mention us. In the budget, they mention us. Even what is they are given to us may not be enough. That is why I'm pushing for a $200 million. Uncle Ken, that's why I'm pushing for $200 million to be earmarked to activate the Black Star Experience. That may even be more than what is being given to the ministry. But unless we have some dedicated funding to really advertise Ghana like a brand that it is, we will not activate that demand. For me, the whole Black Star Experience and everything we do with our tourism should rest on demand. It means that more people are pouring into the country. That's actually what will give essence to everything else we do. And how do people come into the country? They must want to come. Already Ghana, the Ghanaian brand is hot. So we just have to pour a little bit more fuel on it by advertising ourselves, in quotes, bigly across the world with a huge budget. I'm proposing $100 million budget just for marketing Ghana. We have wasted hundreds and billions of dollars on other projects that have either stalled or have taken us nowhere. We can afford to take a risk with our tourism and creative industry. So our work in the media and as activists is to make sure that even though the government has given all of these positions, they don't sit back and say, but we've given your creatives a position, that we advocate for them to give them the resources they need to have the impact they must have for our economy. and those resources must be bold. So for the next couple of weeks, we are going to be championing this agenda for more resources into the creative industry towards the flagship projects and programs that the government wants to initiate. Congratulations, Uncle Rex, and we're happy and willing to work with you and all other people appointed to make this industry great and strong. I am very confident about what is going to happen in the next couple of years for this creative industry.
Good one, if moment. Let me go to Jesse. Jesse, Rex Umar.
So for it,
No.
It took, you know, I can act like the U.S. Congress. I yield my 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
So let me shoot. Today's a rapid fire. It's a rapid fire show.
Yes.
So we're shooting from the hip. I think I'll pick it from the brand side. I mean, I've spent the past 7 months or so interacting with a couple of CEOs in Ghana, working in the private sector. And I also dovetailed some time into the public sector because I realized that working with CEOs is what I need to do. So I'm doing that. And in the past week, I spent some time in a meeting discussing I think there's a Sports Act, the NSA Empowered Act. And inherent in there is how if you're a federation and you are licensed by the NSA, you must have representation at the regional level, hallowed chambers of the creative arts space. I think I see the Black Star experience not just getting a national character. I think in my view, it will be a waste of time if it becomes something that sits at a high level. So from an execution point of view, how do we pick the Black Star experience and cascade it to the regional level and cascade it to even the district level? Because you know, the real essence of creativity, and if you remember, part of the positioning of the NDC chaps was about how do we ensure that we are reviving creativity from the ground up. So the question is, how do you build the Black Star experience to have national character? How do you ensure that the seal of the Black Star experience, when stamped on your event, is one that lives to a particular billing? Now, how do we ensure that we have the central region experience of the Black Star experience and giving it its own character and life running all the way through? And if you go to my district within the Western region, how do we characterize that also on the ground? I think it's really powerful. Else, you would begin to ask a question similar to what others are asking now. What did they do in January? And you would ask if you're looking for a national type of event. But possible a January event for Black Star experience will probably happen in 12 districts across the country. It's possible that a March event will have a national character. It's possible a December Black Star experience would have a national character. But you will not put the nation on a perpetual spin of national character, big budget, big activity. No. So I think in my view, I love the idea of bringing it together. But how do we ensure that it doesn't become another brand Ghana experience which fails to exist 18 months from now? And so for me, the seal of the Black Star experience is one that has to be properly defined. That the 16-year-old girl in the secondary school or the 11-year-old boy in the JSS is proud to wear a cap with the Black Star experience, understanding that his role within the Black Star experience is art, or it's moments plays. How do I
Mansa Musa.
It's a love for Mansa Musa and the fact that I love stagecraft. You get what I mean? Or somebody says that my play within the Black Star experience is movie, serious movie, in quote. Or my play within the Black Star experience is writing. So as an example, I think if you build a brand like that and you spread it, national character, regional character, district character, I think it makes it easier for you to then build a timetable that we can all follow, so that it's a full spread. Outside of that, it will be crazy. A final one for me is this: that I'd always made a point that one of the biggest, Ghanaians like very physical things. So it's easier to say, you know, the road, I built a road for you, or I built a school for you.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to quantify that which you laugh about and go home. So in my view, a very key part of it is how do you monument the Black Star experience? And how do you ensure that the experience you're speaking about is visible everywhere you go? So I give you an example. If you touch this Marine Drive project as an example, and that's part of your whole creative arts architecture, would that be part of the implementation of the Black Star experience? I don't know. Again, last 3 weeks we spoke about the new city in the Volta region. And it's not just a creation of a city, it's a creation of an experience. So with the establishment of that city in the Volta region as an example, create an experience worth adding to it. So that those who are traveling to Ghana for the Black Star experience are not just coming to Ghana because they need to dance, laugh, entertain themselves, but it gives you more. In summary for me, national, regional, district, and execute it as such.
Thank you, Jesse.
And I think that we need to add international.
Even better.
International, then we come down to national. Because
I
at the end of the day, the Black Star experience will also mean a lot to those who are coming in.
Yeah.
And for me, my pitch is that the Black Star experience should be a Hajj for people of the African diaspora.
Awesome.
So how the Muslims go to Hajj, Ghana should be a Mecca of Pan-Africanism.
Agree.
And you have set programs so that the Black Star experience is their definition of that Hajj. And those programs and experiences are meaningful to them.
But Ghana
in
is
ways.
the Mecca of Pan-Africanism.
Yes, but how do we... It is, but then how do we actually... because now Nigeria is coming, right?
Yes,
Burkina Faso is coming.
Okay,
You know, all the other countries are now trying. Senegal, they are all rebranding in this way. So we need to look sharp.
Thank you very much. Let's combine the executive secretaries of NFA and the deputy CEO of GTA. Let's do that right now.
He has spoken already.
He has spoken already.
Have I spoken?
You've not spoken.
I wanted to speak.
For me, I went here.
And you went back to a chief
Moment.
You've
who
not
had
spoken.
even spoken already.
How did I forget about you, Uncle Ken? Please shoot.
Sorry, I spoke on...
Don't mind me at all.
No, he hasn't spoken on Rex.
Who?
Rex,
Uncle
have you
Ken.
spoken about
I
Rex?
have not.
No, he
Oh,
hasn't.
please shoot. Oh. Mbacho Kasawati.
I'm just observing.
And
I
again,
won't judge. I won't judge.
say you won't judge. Don't judge, please.
Listen.
Uncle Ken. Yes.
Kwame, congratulations to
Yeah.
Rex. You know, I noticed something which made me chuckle and soothed my emotions anyway. The interview you played about Rex on his appointment. What I noticed was Rex's sober,
Demeanor.
Because the Rex I knew was always,
Jesse said that he starts like this and then.
And from the interview, I said, nice one. Rex has mellowed. This appointment has hit him, boom. And he's realized that he needs to take his time and get things right. And I congratulate him. I think that we would have time later on to delve into the
we will bring them here
and the issues.
We will bring them here.
So I just want to congratulate Rex and wish him the best. Go and make us proud. Bye bye.
And he's
Bye bye. Congratulations and bye bye. Papa Laddie. Let's take a listen to James Gardner.
I feel very honored and excited about this appointment by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the Deputy Executive Secretary for the National Film Authority. I don't take this for granted at all with the trust that he's vested in me. So, together with Kafui Danku, the CEO and the Executive Secretary of the NFA, whom I have a long-standing relationship with in the acting space, we are willing and ready to fill the big shoes of the office and to continue to drive the vehicle towards the right direction for the betterment of our industry and also the nation as a whole. There's a lot of work to be done. And as such, we've already marked out plans to meet and engage with some of the industry players and stakeholders to rub our minds together on how we can together work as a unit and achieve our short-term goals and our long-term goals as well. We are working very hard to settle in so we can set the ball rolling as quickly as we can. So help us God.
Yeah, James Gardner, the Deputy Executive Secretary of National Film Authority. And the Executive Secretary of NFA performs administrative tasks. That person is a member of the governing body, which is the board. And per the organogram, as enshrined in the Act 935, the Executive Secretary reports to the board. And for that matter, the board chair. There is no deputy CEO position in that law. So people are asking, and there is no CEO position in Act 935, and there is no deputy executive secretary position in Act 935. So some people are asking. We saw the announcement for Kafui Danku. They wrote CEO and executive secretary by her name, and then they wrote executive secretary for James Gardner. But we're asking, we don't have CEO position in the laws of NFA and no deputy position in the laws of NFA. And we're not saying they are not cut for the job, but we're just asking questions why we have these positions, the CEO attached to Kafui's name and a deputy executive secretary position in the NFA now. These are questions some people are asking. Now, let's combine that with the deputy CEO, Abeku Agri Santana. We know at the GTA, there are two deputy CEOs, one for operations, one for general services. For operations, we have Eko Samson. For general services, we have Benjamin Ananinsia. We don't know which of these two positions Abeku is going to occupy, or maybe he'll be third. We don't know. We're just asking questions. Let me start with you, Uncle Francis Doku. Papa, I'm my best Oshin.
No, I mean, I think that this week has been very flurry with appointments, and all that. I mean, and most of the people are people we know, people that have been our friends, for a very long time. So it's good, first of all, to congratulate everybody. I think Abeku. I remember even when we were talking about the CEO position for GTA, he was one of the
his
names.
Name came up,
His name was one of them that we mentioned, and very strongly that he stood a chance to be appointed. And so when the announcement came as deputy, it wasn't too much surprising because he's been there. I mean, he's been in that space. He's been in the tourism space for a long time. He owns a tour company. He has a hotel, hospitality, and all that. So I think it fits. The issue for me was the fact that there are two deputies already at the GTA, and so we were wondering what his role will be. There's no clarity yet, for us to. I believe when later we go in, we know that this person has been assigned this person has been assigned this, but the other two are already civil servants who are, on that tax. So Abeku brings, in my view, some private sector infusion ideas to support the CEO in delivering her mandate. And so it's quite welcome, and I congratulate him. Same as, I think there was a bit of confusion this week with the NFA appointment. First, we were told that James Gardner
was the
executive
secretary.
Saw a post and confirmation, whether it was confirmed or not, that James Gardner was the executive director.
Secretary.
Executive secretary of the NFA. And there were congratulations to him and all that. And the following day,
his friends did that.
Yeah.
Some were posting deputy, others were posting executive secretary.
Yeah, so it was a bit confusing. Yeah. But it was the following day that we got
when Joy FM confirmed from him.
Oh, it was Joy. Updated news that actually the top chef at that NFA was Kafui Danku, and he was deputy. I think that clarified things.
True.
The other things that we later, wanted to go into more was the fact that what is the position in terms of the law that establishes it, and it's a bit of that. I believe, all those things will be cleared. But most importantly, there's a need to look at what has been done and how these people can move it forward. For tourism, we know we're on a rise. Ghana currently, gets about, around 1 million visitors, 1.2 million last year. It's not
out yet.
But we know,
Yeah.
I mean, 2024, it's out.
Is it out?
About 1.128.
24?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2020.
23 is out.
23 was 1.48.
Okay.
2024 it's 1.28 thereabouts. So slight marginal increase on the
All right.
2023 numbers. I think even last week when we spoke, we said that we could do something to move the numbers, further. And so that mandate is clear. So we
Great.
believe that with the addition of Abeku and everybody looking at doing the right things, we will move it. They are forcing me to finish what I'm saying.
No, we're not forcing you. We can't force you. We can't force you.
So I'll leave it here so someone else will say. So
take the baton from Uncle Francis.
I mean, for me, I the Kafri James combo, yeah. I think it's one I'm excited about because the two of them are really in sync. They work on a lot of projects together. Yeah, Kafri is more focused on, she's not behind the scenes doing a lot of production and whatnot. James also has tried his hands at some few business, whatever. He failed and he didn't really fail, but I mean, there was some disappointment. He's learned his lessons. So I'm just glad that, that combo, they work, they're in sync. So I can only hope for the best when it comes to the two of them. They've been in the industry, they know what goes on.
Great.
They're still in there. So we can only hope for the best. Abeku's one, I don't know what the whole confusion about the role.
He says he will talk to me after Tuesday.
Okay, so maybe when he gives us more clarity, then we can equally speak to that.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse.
You don't have time.
Okay, let me do. Let me do Uncle Ken then.
Kwame,
yes, sir.
Again, I would just say that congratulations to all of them. I do not like judging people before they have performed.
Yeah.
Because I think it's or not performed, so to speak. So I make reference to a certain person back in the days of President Kufuor who was vociferous with his writings in a national newspaper to the point where any time he wrote a piece in the newspaper, people felt it was gospel. Until the person was appointed as a deputy minister. And he failed miserably. And we never heard of him, even in his writing again. So I use that as my yardstick. And I say to myself...
Oh, I know who you are.
Oh, you don't know. and I say to myself...
Should I say?
No. And I say to myself, give people time. Let them show you what they can do. If they fail along the way, we can correct them. If they succeed, we applaud them.
Sure.
So congratulations to all of them. Let's see what they can do.
Thank you, Uncle Ken. Chief Moment.
I think my final comment would be, I think that all the creatives appointed to these positions should come together with some kind of a bond and an understanding among themselves towards an agenda, obviously under the supervision of the Honorable Minister herself, who understands the industry. I think that if they all have the agenda synced together to help one another, because it's going to be very, very challenging. They are going to be competing for very scarce resources for the president's attention. So I hope that at least when they come together towards a unified agenda, they will be able to collectively push the interest of the country and their work very well. So we wish them the best, and we'll be here to support in our activism role and whatever productivity role that we can also play. And Uncle Ken, Francis Doku, Jesse, all of them are here to be consulted. So why not? It's for the industry. Yes. But I'll be remiss if I didn't mention. I know that right now all the positions are almost gone.
Ghana Bouquet?
No.
Okay.
I mean, requires time. I mean, obviously, our brother Baba Sadiq, we are hoping that obviously he will also have a very important role to play in this administration. He's one of the young, energetic guys. So we're hoping to see him soon enough. I know that things are now stabilizing, but he definitely has a good role to play.
Some are asking...
And what do you think is left for the stature of Baba
The
Sadiq?
creative agency doesn't have...
If it doesn't have to be in the creative space, I can understand.
Yes.
I can
Because
understand.
we always assume that the things that we know you by.
Exactly.
You should because
be.
I
Exactly.
think that Baba Sadiq is very digital minded, he's very youth minded, and he's very forward thinking.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most creative entrepreneurial human beings I've
True.
ever known
True.
in my
Exactly.
life.
True.
Exactly. I back that.
Wherever you put Baba Sadiq,
He will try.
He would rock it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Including the abattoir and the destiny that was left for us at last
this
week.
one says,
and the mortuary.
I'm not rushing for an appointment
Yes.
despite tireless campaign for Mahama. Guess who?
Who?
Actor Michael Afrani.
Personal
from
message.
Kumasi.
Or
It's a story.
it's a story.
Yeah, he's not rushing for
an appointment.
Maybe he'll become the.
So what was
Can I say something before?
Quickly, please.
I mean, we haven't touched on the sonar, so I just want to say that I'm happy that the president mentioned that we're going to revive
airline.
the national carrier, the national airline. For me, that's a very important
For
part
tourism.
of everything the president
For
said.
tourism
Because I
purposes.
believe that if you want to be serious as a tourism destination, you should be judged by how people come into your country, and your national carrier is one of the easiest.
Ghana Bouquet can make that
Thank
happen.
you very much. Thank you, Francis Doku. Thank you, Jesse Japon, Amele Josu, Ken Adi, Alan Chief Moomin. It's been Showbiz A to Z. But before we go, tomorrow is a Sunday, and we'll be getting ready for Pentecost Hour with the chairman, Apostle Eric Nyamicha. Tomorrow on Joy FM, 1:30 p.m. My name is Kwame Dadzie. Show brought to you by MTN Everywhere You Go, Superstar Multi-Fruit Drink. And this show was produced by Philip and I, supported by Anita Tay, Olivier Fangnan, and DJ Wibete. See you next week.
joyonline.com. Coming up, power sector faces fresh challenges as early power serves notice of cutting its electricity supply due to the ECG failure to settle a $48 million debt. We'll bring you details of that shortly. Also, details as WAPCO resumes gas transportation after a successful completion of maintenance.
We're averaging about 3.5 days for each peak to travel from our Lagos Beach compression station all the way to Takoradi.
Also in this bulletin, Gregory Afoko tastes freedom after meeting his bail bond.
Oh, I will only say we should have love for one another and we shouldn't be wicked to one another.
Also, Hajj is a sacred duty, not a business. President Mahama cautions against profit-driven pilgrimages as he directs the interim Hajj board to cap this year's participants at 5,000.
After the performance of Hajj, if there is even one CD left, that money should be donated to the poor or used for a project in the Muslim communities.
These and many more coming up on the news at 6. My name is Nana Boache Dankwa. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. The details now. The power sector is facing renewed challenges as Early Power has served notice of cutting its electricity supply due to the Electricity Company of Ghana's failure to settle an outstanding debt of over $48 million. In a letter addressed to the acting managing director of ECG, the power company raised concern over ECG's default in payment. Managers of early power warned of severe financial repercussions for the power provider if these monies are not paid. Here is a news desk report.
The letter, which also copied the Minister for Finance, the Minister for Energy, and the Executive Secretary of the Public Utility Regulatory Commission and the board chairman, warned of severe financial repercussion for the power provider. This is because ECG breached the contractual agreement it entered with the power company. Under the agreement, ECG is to make a guaranteed monthly payment of $7 million for the initial deferral period ending in October 2024, and thereafter $7.5 million for the second deferral period. As at 20th December 2024, the $53 million ECG was expected to pay early power. Only $7.35 million was paid. As a result of ECG's default in payment, the seller finds itself in a precarious financial position and will not be able to meet its debt service obligation and operating cost, the company stated. Early Power has now issued a firm demand for the immediate settlement of the overdue amount, setting a deadline of 28 February 2025. The company warned that failure to meet the deadline will leave them with no choice but to invoke remedies available under the Power Purchase Agreement and the Power Comeback Operation Agreement.
And that was a news desk report. Still in the energy sector, the West African gas pipeline company, WAPCO, has announced the successful and safe completion of essential pipeline maintenance activities, marking the resumption of gas transportation services across Ghana, Togo and Benin. This is expected to stabilize power supply in Ghana and other nations that rely on the pipeline. The comprehensive maintenance project, which spanned 4 weeks, include a range of critical tasks such as offshore pipeline cleaning, inspection, subsea valve replacement, and other vital works across multiple locations in Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria. Director of Corporate Affairs with WAPCO, Dr. Isaac Duku, tells Joy News the Takrady and Tema gas pipe plants will receive gas in few months.
I think the good news is that once we started running the picks, we realized that with the pressure of the gas that is being used to push the pig through the pipeline, we're averaging about 3.5 days for each pig to travel from